Tales of the Chron-Arch. Declassified. The Violet Stranger. Told in a parabolic arc, this declassified document expunges the truth about the Violet Stranger and his involvement with his former selves. Ballistic. Traveler, the Man in Red, Chapter 21. Belligerent. Traveler, Mr. Blue, Chapters 50, 61, 63. Berserk. Traveler, Mr. Blue, Chapters 31, 46. Ballistic. Her name is Purge, Sully grinned. She's our... The retired Commodore glanced over at the Time Lord. Friend? Companion? He asked. Transportation, the Man in Red grinned. And a whole lot more, Purge offered from overhead. The alien in the red fedora held up a hand. I kid because I care. Bro looked around. It'd be right inviting in here, like a lounge or a bar or something. How can it be so big? I'm an EO TARDIS, Purge announced to the young Jadoon. Type 99X. This meant nothing to the large, talking rhinoceros. I be Bro, at your service, ma'am. Pleased to meet you, Bro. Is it? Purge verified. Bro started following around his very curious rock dog. I'm your Bro. After several moments of complete quiet, Sully shook his head and gripped Bro on the shoulder. Show you around? Earlier and elsewhere, Saber's image had abruptly vanished, and Mr. Blue pressed a button. The doorway to the endless time bar materialized on the other side of Purge's immense interior. Sully began to follow him, as did Ruckus, when the Time Lord in the azure suit stopped them. Come up with a name for the rapids. Something catchy. Mr. Blue disappeared in short order, as did the doorway to the endless. Mr. Blue walked toward the endless bar proper and sat down in his favorite stool. He typed away on his temporal wrist device for several moments, eventually looking up to see his future self, Traveler, black, gruff old number 5, as Mr. Blue thought of him privately. The alien's second incantation stared up at his fifth. Well, are you gonna get me a damn pint of Guinness or what? The traveler in the perfect black suit wordlessly slapped Mr. Blue across the face. Across the empty bar, behind the stage on which sat the dusty grand piano, hung a dark curtain with a simple yet large exclamation point emblazoned upon it. Suddenly it flew open, revealing the Violet Stranger. His lips were curled in a vaguely superior grin, but his shark eyes remained vicious and glowing purple as they settled upon his second incarnation. In response, Mr. Blue jumped up from the bar stool, activated the laser sword function of his time watch. The neon indigo blade instantly and directly aimed at his Valyard. The Violet Stranger. The Violet Stranger rolled his eyes and walked to the bar. Enough, Traveler, Black ordered his second self. He's only here to provide information. I can fight among myselves later. Mr. Blue sighed as his laser sword disappeared. The Violet Stranger sat down sarcastically, patting the seat immediately next to him. Traveler version 2 shook his head at Traveler version 6 and smoothed his lapis tie as he sat, then regarded Traveler version 5. Black continued, The Violet Stranger and I have a mission for you. Mr. Blue had enough. He slapped the bar with both hands. What? Us three? Are you kidding me? The black-clad stranger shook his head. Nope. We need you to meet up with the Man in Red. Mr. Blue's eyes widened. Excuse me? Come again? The violet stranger leaned closer towards his second incarnation, as if to share a damning secret, and Mr. Blue, of course, leaned away. The beauty of the endless is that it's locked in a state of temporal grace, a TARDIS within a TARDIS, you know. I'm not working with him. Mr. Blue held up a hand with finality. Discussion over. The violet stranger grinned. Fine by me. Black shook his head. You aren't? We received orders from the architect that what is needed here is the prime tribunal. Mr. Blue leaned back, running his fingers over his platinum blonde crew cut. The old Time Lord power of 3, innit? Traveler, Black, agreed. Mr. White, Mr. Blue, and the man in red. There was a brief pause as these bizarre orders sank in. Mr. Blue finally looked up. Okay, then, so what's next, you daft bastard? Mr. Black raised an eyebrow. Good. That was easier than I thought it'd be. I used to be so damn pig-headed. Oi, Mr. Blue interjected. Now I won't be a good little Chron-Arch if I didn't ask, what could possibly be so horrible that you'd need 3 travelers? Traveler Black deferred to the violet stranger. The Time Lord in the purple suit answered without looking at his younger selves. Oh, you'll see. Belligerent. Black entered his bar, the Endless. Yet this time there was no absent jazz playing in the background, no wafting smell of cigars. Someone had hacked his time bar. Black leered around, almost growling. Suddenly the spotlight hit the curtain behind the grand piano. A black exclamation point boldly lit the empty stage. Black sighed. Yeah, that's great, very dramatic. The violet stranger waved a hand, moving the curtain. I never did get the whole clandestine thing. What is it you think we actually do here, Black? Get to the point. The Time Lord in the perfect ebony suit focused his dark eyes. The stranger in orchid languidly slid away. Simply a warning. Mr. Blue may have overstepped his bounds this time. When has that ever stopped? I'm serious, the violet stranger's voice dropped. Consider this your payback. He's stranded on the world engine in 2467, aimed at Earth, without his EO TARDIS. Black tilted his head. He was successful? I'll be damned. Not without serious repercussions. The Time Lord in black looked away from the violet stranger. You're saying he'll, have to regenerate? It's ahead of schedule, but... The violet stranger slammed his hand on the table. I'm saying I don't know what's going to happen. He's caused a retrograde temporal shift back to prime. Yeah, he set things right. That's what Mr. Blue does. It's not that easy, Black. The stranger in the orchid suit put on his perfect purple derby. Don't be naive. I owe you one. Now we're even. Get Mr. Blue some help before deceit locates him and ends. The violet stranger looked around. Ends all of this before it's even begun. Earlier and elsewhere. The sound of Black's EO TARDIS exiting reality was an effect he liked to call Omega Eraser. He explained to his second incarnation, Mr. Blue, that a TARDIS resonates that groaning and creaking sound because Omega, a founding creator of the Gallifreyan Society, is wiping the TARDIS away from time to rewrite it somewhere else on the galactic chalkboard. Jade heard the noise as she drove from the graveyard. Hearing it so clearly, so loudly, throbbing in her skull, she was forced to drop her car phone and focus on the steering wheel. She had no more straightened out her aspire when another hideously deep, grinding, throbbing, pounding sound assaulted her. She could feel it in her time-sensitive bones. Something was about to happen. The violet wardrobe materialized in front of her car nearly instantly, and Jade had no time to swerve, grinding down on the brakes, not in time. Without a seatbelt, Jade's sternum was cracked on the steering wheel before she was violently thrown through her own windshield to land on the hood of her Aspire. Blood and glass and broken bones, now her only sudden, excruciatingly painful reality. Deceit emerged. If you can't destroy a fixed point, then High Lord Technology can, by God, pause one. The devious High Lord heiress cracked her neck with a sickening intensity, a psychotic smile firmly placed on her luscious, plump red lips. Jade groaned in complete agony, terror, and fear. Deceit angrily grabbed the seriously injured young woman by the hair, wrenching her toward the orchid wardrobe. As the time machine disappeared, Jade's screams were cut short by a sickening crunch and the mad laugh of Deceit. Inside, the renegade Time Lady dragged Jade's immobile form up onto a slab near the black control console. She was plugging wires into the young woman in a desperate frenzy when the violet stranger emerged from the shadows. You broke her neck. The Time Lady tilted her head. She's still alive. This is, Deceit angrily shouted, power levels! A deep male voice responded in echo from overhead. 67%. Deceit finished attaching futuristic wiring and strange, glowing metal coils to Jade's body. I'm going to get the power levels back to normal, then find the best moment to strike. Preferably a temporal intersection where that damn time agent won't interfere. Even if you remember that far ahead, you have no idea what the retrograde temporal amnesia is going to be like after what you're trying to do here. Then leave. If you're so very afraid, traveler, run. It's what you're best at. This is insanity, and it will not work. With that, the violet stranger slammed the doors of the purple wardrobe shut. It dematerialized into non-existence, leaving faint, iris-colored strands of electricity in the air. Berserk. Earlier and elsewhere. Anesthetic? Deceit screamed. A male voice from behind her. Negative. Anesthetic would interfere with the genetic restructuring sequence. The stranger slowly circled the console. When he was directly across from her, Deceit saw that he was slim and wore a violet suit. He looked weary yet determined. He was the one she was waiting for. About time. I thought they were going to kill me. Deceit coughed and wiped hair from her face. Again. Deceit grunted in pain as the coral snakes were digging further up into her legs. Were you able to get it? Deceit raised her left hand in the air and looked at her left wrist. Got him. The iris-clad stranger became animated, grinning deviously. Who? Black. You are shitting me. The Time Lady shook her head, sweat dropping from her eyebrows. No, the black traveler grabbed my wrist while I was in the Endless. I got him. The violet stranger scanned her wrist with a purple beam which emanated from his watch. Excellent. Traveler's fifth incarnation. 681 years old. As the man in the orchid suit strolled away toward his iris wardrobe, Deceit managed to shout, "The only thing I don't understand is why you want to do this." Over Deceit's scream, the violet stranger entered his time machine and muttered, "I hate being a Time Lord." Earlier and elsewhere, Deceit thought, "How the hell did this happen? This is unacceptable." Finally, her call was answered. A neon amethyst holographic screen appeared, showing a slender man dressed in an impeccable orchid suit. What? How in 7 hells did Traveler get a lock on me? I specifically set up a... Doesn't matter. Deceit flashed fury across her delicate features. No, there's not a chance." The violet stranger shook his head. "They're pissed royally." The renegade time lady's eyes were glowing red as she punched a hole through the time rotor on her console. "Sorry, but please look on the bright side." Deceit shook her head angrily. "What?" The violet stranger cocked his head, eyes peering as he focused. "Traveler thinks you're dead." Deceit grinned like a shark.